This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Monday, March 27th, 2023. I'm Alex Brown. A Texas-based specialty materials manufacturer is growing operations in northern Indiana. IIB's West Mills reports Alcogen has begun commercial production of its silicon battery anode material in New Carlisle.
The company is not disclosing its financial investment in the expansion, but told IIB it plans to add 75 jobs as a result. The new production line manufactures silicon fiber anode material, or SiFab. The material, the company says, is used to strengthen the overall structure of a battery in order to alleviate the mechanical stresses caused by multiple charge and discharge cycles. CEO John Dandolf says the new manufacturing capacity will allow the company to meet growing demand from customers in the electric vehicle, renewable energy storage, and consumer electronic spaces. Chief Innovation Officer Chad Cannon says the material is currently being validated by the company's customers for use in more than 20 applications. The New Carlisle facility is Alcogen's only Indiana location and employs nearly 130 people. A spokesperson for the company told Inside Indiana Business there is potential for further expansion in Indiana. The company has 75 manufacturing facilities in 12 countries and employs more than 9,000 people. West Mills, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
For the first time in nearly 30 years, the Stark County town of North Judson has new multifamily housing. On Saturday, officials from the community and developer Verhagen Investments cut the ceremonial ribbon on Park Place Villa Apartments. North Judson native Kurt Verhagen of Verhagen Investments acquired the property in 2021 and says plans are in the works to build additional rental units at the site. Fort Wayne Ministry Bridge of Grace has broken ground on a building that will house a 20,000 square foot early learning center that will serve around 200 children daily. The building, set for completion in the summer of 2024, will also include a 3,000 square foot health clinic in partnership with Parkview Health and a 5,000 square foot space that will serve as the ministry's headquarters. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Get ready, Southwest Indiana. We're headed your way. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the second annual Engage Southwest Indiana event, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. Tuesday, April 11th at the Old National Events Plaza in Evansville. We'll be diving into regional and statewide initiatives with a focus on talent, education, and issues shaping our economy. More at ibj.com/engage.
The Associate Director of the Transportation and Autonomous Systems Institute at the Purdue School of Engineering and Technology in Indianapolis says the transition to electric vehicles can be compared to the switch from horses to gas-powered cars. In an interview with the Associated Press, Clayton Nicholas said the process of adding more EV charging stations will be similar to the initial growth of gas stations.
When we converted from horses into internal combustion engines, the same thing happened where we had to start adding a lot more gasoline stations around, and it took some period of time, and it took probably 10 to 15 years before it really filtered out all the way to rural areas and everyone was able to take advantage of it.
Nicholas said efforts at the school are working to find the best ways to ensure equitable access to EV charging stations among urban and rural areas and make sure they're safe. IndyCar announced a contract extension with NTT as its title sponsor today, continuing an agreement that began in 2019. NTT is a global technology giant that became title sponsor of the IndyCar Series 4 years ago. The company extended the agreement in 2021. Financial terms of the deal were not disclosed, but the parties said it involved a multi-year extension that begins in 2024. As part of the agreement, NTT and affiliate NTT Data will continue as the official technology partners of IndyCar, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Indy 500, and NASCAR's Brickyard Weekend. The mayor of Terre Haute says last week's announcement by Oregon-based ENTEC detailing plans to invest $1.5 billion to build a new battery component manufacturing campus in the city stands above any other economic development project in the city's history. In an interview on Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick, Duke Bennett said the deal was made in rather rapid fashion, and ENTEC was bullish on the city's benefits.
They wanted to be in the Midwest. That was their primary target, which is, obviously good for all of us around here in the Midwest, but having a shovel-ready site, there's a little bit of utility work that's going to have to be done, just very small amount. they thought our workforce availability was going to be what they needed, and the colleges, schools that we have here are going to be able to produce the kind of people they need to work there. So that was another fit. And I think they just really liked working with us. I mean, that always comes down to the end. Do they like working with the local community? And so I think we put on, a really good initial conversation, because if you think about this, the conversation didn't even start till October and it closed this week. That's pretty fast for a project of this size. And so I think all those things coming together led to that.
The mayor said the NTEC investment is the latest in a series of projects that he believes will grow the city's profile. IU Health CEO Dennis Murphy is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.